It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Start the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Start the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, loud, loud. No. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Loud, loud, loud. No one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 cheer. Loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, cheer, cheer. Loud, loud, loud. No. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 cheer. Loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Blue Morning Show, and I'm your host, Kachila. I do hope you all are doing well. Today is it will be a mashup of our Chelsea news and then the match preview exercise plus lineup building exercise. If we can, move at a blistering pace. I can't pronounce that word. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well, and we will be paying attention to all the games that are going on, the Chelsea women's game and the Man City versus Manchester United, because that result, the outcome of that game, impacts where we'll be in the table at the end of the day. But before we continue, I'm going to say hello to those of you in the chat, and then we go to the news hunting, and I'll continue paying attention. Hopefully, one or two panelists will have the time to join me on the panel so you can get diversified opinion and not listen to I alone waffle. What do we have here? Fans want to practice, and we're about to buy a CB. Yeah, the practice didn't stop the club buying players they want to buy. I think they've deemed it important, and that's why they are moving for one. We didn't expect them to actually move for one this window, and the player they're looking at, I must agree, is a good player. The question now is whether you think the player is experienced enough or not. That's up to you. Remember to manage, coach. Age up the boys. Not like Mother Nature can do her thing. All right, thank you, Brianna. How are you? I have a headache this morning. I'm not gonna be bigging people up a lot. I've had coffee still. It hasn't helped. Probably I need some rest. I was on the computer for 2 consecutive days in a row. Not a lot of break. I can't be doing that to myself. Big up to you, my bro. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining. Give me 1 second here. Let me take care of something here immediately. All right, place it here. I think it works there. So what else do we have here? We have that. I'm not reading that. If you want to come onto the panel, I wouldn't mind sending you the link. But if you don't want to speak objectively, I'm not going to read your comment. If you ask a question, I will respond. You're entitled to your opinion. I agree. I can highlight it, but I cannot read every time you're losing your SHIT. You're dumping here, then I'll be the one to be reading it for you. It's not healthy, no. If you want to come onto the panel, I wouldn't mind sending you the link. I will listen to you. Yeah, so I can be the one to read in your opinion of how everybody should be sacked at the club should be sold. I even went to the extent of saying we're losing today. I don't operate like that. If you don't want to speak objectively, I'm not going to read your comment. No, we will not. I wish we have somebody to cover it, even though I'm not for it. I would have loved to cover it, talk about whatever we see that's going on there. We did cover that of the Ricketts out. We cover it. We did cover it live on Chelsea Perspective. The owners are lying to you all, but you will not listen to me. Why would I listen to you? Do you work for me? I don't have to listen to you. I might listen to you, but I don't have to agree with you. We will not have word against the practice. Why would he doesn't have to? I'm not against the practice. The only thing I've said is more like an advice. I said, look, if you want to protest, have a uniform message. But what's going to happen today? Some people will be busy screaming, senselessly screaming blue call out, which isn't going to yield any result. It's not going to move a needle, in my opinion, in terms of getting them to change their model or do things the way some certain fans want certain, you can say, portion or maybe section of the fan base want them to do it. If you go with a unified message, behave in a civilized manner, chances are they'd have somebody come listen to what your demands, not because they have to, because yeah, they respect your loyalty to the club or the fact that you support the club. So you can't just, I don't know. I'm not for any senseless thing. I like to operate. I always like to operate objectively. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it in any way because there's no unified message. Even though sometimes they present something online, one of them AI generated, they present it online, which makes sense. People protest what they don't like. We say something to the effect of change the model, sign experienced players, something like that. If they stick with that, chances are you could say they create a conducive environment for dialogue. The owners will listen. That not don't necessarily mean that they do what the fans want, because they actually believe that what they're doing is working. That they had to give the directors a pay rise. The directors that a lot of Chelsea fans hate. So it's about being sensible. It's about being strategic. It's not about just screaming protest till and screaming that senselessly without a uniform message. Some screaming owners out. Some even I don't know even those that are you could say that want to make it objective whether they're actually allowed to whether they're actually allowed to actually present something sensible that could lead to the honest listening. So I don't know if you get my point, but that's my opinion anyway. You are a joke. We're not a joke. You can say Chelsea are a joke, but don't say we. Don't include me. If you're a joke, you're a joke, not me. I don't think I'm a joke. If I have you, listen. Can we learn to speak objectively? And we don't have anybody there. Yeah, and he says, "I told you we will lose Pedro Neto for inexperienced 18-year-old. Have we lost Pedro Neto? So why are you reminding me? You told me. Have we lost him? I don't have the energy. I have a headache this morning. I'm serious. Jesus Christ. He goes on to say, we're finished. I would rather the West Ham owners over Igbali. Listen, you're not speaking objectively. You don't. Igbali, is he the only owner of Chelsea Football Club? He's not. Whatever we do today, Bally signs off on them. So I'm not sure why you're behaving. I get it. That's how you sound whenever you're not happy. But despite it, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Good afternoon to you too. Thank God. Ayuba, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you for being here. Express yourself. All we ask of you is to be sensible, be civilized. The more I look at Jeremy Jacquet, is that how you pronounce his last name? Looks like a Fofana replacement. Possibly, but I don't think we're going to look to sell Fofana now. But he's a good player. You could argue, I think he's more, what's the language I'm looking for? Mobile than Fofana, in my opinion. He looks like he's more of you could say he'd be overall he'd be a better box defender than Fofana. But Ibro, my bro, nice to see you. Please, how can someone watch the Chelsea women match? I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I've seen these days they don't show them on YouTube or on the app. I think I've seen a few of their games on TV, on cable. Yeah, I can't remember where because yeah, I haven't been watching their games as I should. But that's by the way, we have the captain of the community in Constantine Dante on the panel. Dante, how are you doing? I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate your patience. There's something you're supposed to have gotten from me right now, but I'm not concerned. I can actually decide not to. Yeah. But how are you doing, man?
I don't even know what you're talking about, Coach. What are you
Mhm.
talking
Mhm.
about? I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain, man. Just I have a bit of a headache for lack of proper sleep for 2 consecutive days, working on something on the computer,
hmm
haven't had proper sleep. So yeah, that's not helping. I've had a cup of coffee this morning, but it doesn't look like it has helped.
Sleep is very important, Coach. I told you. You
So
gotta.
I did, even though I stayed long on the computer, like as I've explained, I think I had 7+ hours of sleep.
Oh, that's good. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yes. Now we're gonna talk about the protest or not really? Yeah, you did a
Because we're
little
not
bit.
covering it, like I would have loved to talk about it, just like the way we covered the
Yeah.
Ricketts out protest. But unfortunately, we don't have anybody there today, even though I'm not for it, because I know it's not going to be, um, we're not going to see a uniform presentation. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so
It's
50.
unfortunate.
You could say even actually majority of those that will go there will be focused on screaming blue coal out senselessly, which will make it a useless venture, in my opinion, for lack of a more specific language.
I think you're being very generous. I think that's probably the nicest thing they will probably be screaming out is blue go out. I think there'll be a lot more worse than that.
That's actually still the issue today, because I've seen situations.
It looks like Coach has dropped out. Is he out? Yeah, he is. Oh. Told him to get away from Walmart. Walmart. He switched to Walmart Wi-Fi. That's what happens. Trying to save money. Yeah, look, about the pro till he comes back, I'll just go on a little bit about it. Like Coach said, pretty much the same thing. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I'm back. No, I was saying, look, I'm not against the protest because I believe in democracy. People are allowed to voice their opinion, but I'm
100%,
just
yeah.
saying, even before the first one that happened, before it happened, we saw what was going on online, the preparation and the mindset of some of the people who were eager to be part of it. We realized, yeah, they're probably not going to achieve anything because they don't have a uniform message, and what they're asking wasn't possible. If anything, the owners would just know that, yeah, they're not happy. But what are they
Yeah,
really saying? Practically nothing. That's I think there's a saying they usually say to kids in class that when everybody's talking, nobody's talking. But in this case, it's even worse because yeah, everybody's talking and everybody's saying a different thing. You know, my concern, I'm going to say something I've said already because it looks like I was caught off. Even when you go to go on X and see some people there trying, you could say who believe, you could say who, you could argue they're speaking objectively. They're not name calling the owners. They're not screaming blue coat out. They're saying we want the model to change. We want the club to sign more experienced players. And we want accountability. Even though I'd say to some extent they don't have. I'm not. You know what? Let me just leave it at that. That you could say it's clean. It makes sense. Whether the owners will agree to it, to those you could say requests is a debate for another day, but at least when you present your demands in a sensible manner, civilized manner, then you can say you're essentially creating an environment for dialogue to take place. Because the owners, and like as I've told people before, there was a survey, a result from a survey. I can't quite remember who facilitated that. That showed that majority of the fans unhappy with the owners, which you can argue, in my opinion, but that's an argument for another day. That had that been done immediately after the Club World Cup, I'd say at least 50% plus will say, yeah, they don't have an issue with that. But yeah, they did it at the point, at the time when you can say we were struggling. Of course, the outcome of that will be negative. But I digress. My point is, the owners are, what I wanted to say is this: the owners are more likely to pay attention to a poll that suggests the fans unhappy than pay attention to people screaming blue core out and on and all that nonsense, in my opinion. I'm not saying don't protest, but I'm saying protest sensibly, protest with a uniformed message. Be sensible. You can't force them out right now. I get it. What the Minerals FC is screaming, hit their pocketbooks and they will go. Do you think you are the only Chelsea fans? It would just, they will see it, they will know, yeah, you're not happy, but probably they're definitely not going to do what you're asking, because you're not even asking them to change their model, you're asking them to sell. But I'm going to stop. As I've said, you can see I'm actually on the verge of losing my voice. Had it not been for that
Enough,
miraculous
enough.
stuff that Dante sent to me, I think by now I don't think I'll be able to speak. Yeah, as I think I've explained that. And AB, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Big up to you. To appreciate you. Big up Kochi. That's how they say it in Nigeria, Ghana, and some West African countries that speak Pidgin English. Some people screaming doom and gloom. We're celebrating. We're back when we won the Club World Cup. That's the thing. Yeah. Uh, as I said, I have nothing against the practice except for at least go with the uniform message. That's my opinion. Big up to you, the East. Chelsea, meet your boy. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular morning. To be honest, it's time we get these board out. Go ahead, knock out yourself, whatever you feel is possible. I have nothing against it. Just I hope they do that with a uniform message. Otherwise, it's just being more like an adventure for some of them. That you could say that we're waiting to be part of something to make them feel like they belong to something. It happens all the time. If it is senseless, it's not going to yield any result. Tonso Jeremy Jacquet, from what I've, is that how you pronounce his last name? From what I've heard, and he's tall, he's aggressive. He looks lanky, and I think he's lanky in all honesty, but he's a very very strong player, and he's done well. And I'm okay with the signing. Bayern actually still wants him. Last season, Bayern wanted him. Arsenal wanted him. I can't remember any other club, but those two were, you can say, some of the biggest names amongst the among the clubs that wanted him. But I think the reason we're trying to wrap it up now, because the moment he gets to the summer, a lot of clubs will come. We're just trying to do the same thing we did when we signed Enzo Fernandez, not to postpone it. Yeah, Michi, that's Jay saying big up to you. But Dante, can you elaborate on Jeremy Jacquet before we get to looking at the
Yep.
games? And I'll be paying attention to the results of the games that I believe some of our viewers might be interested in the outcome. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's Jacquet. That's how you say it.
Okay,
Jacquet.
Jacquet.
Yeah. Um,
Jacquet, mon ami.
exactly. Yes. So yeah, look, he's very exciting young central defender. So like you say, quite tall. Probably not tall for some. Like Bobby would say, he's not tall enough. So he's 188 centimeters, which is just 6'2", I think. So
6'2" isn't bad. If he has a big leap in him,
huge
not
leap.
bad
Yeah.
at all.
Huge leap. He's in the top 5 leagues in Europe. He's in the 90% percentiles. He's one of the, I think, right up the top as in leap and aerial duels. So yes, that is his number one strength, aerial duels. Actually,
He's
yes,
quick too. Given
very quick.
he's
Yes,
quick, puts in good last ditch tackles. He has a long leg. You can say he utilizes his long leg very very well. But go ahead.
yeah, and that's why sometimes it's good not to be too tall, like Tosin 6'5". You lose a bit of that mobility, a bit of that athleticism. So he's got everything you want. He's got all he's quite physical as well. like I said. So his number one strengths are his defending. That's his number one, and that's what we need. We need a more of a pure defender first, and that's his all aerial duels where we lack. Unless Tossen's playing, we lack in aerial duels completely most of the time.
And from what I've seen, he seems a good box defender.
Good box defender, correct?
Mhm.
Yes, he's what you call he can he they call it like this, the spear and the shield. So he can actually shield, as in sit back and defend, or can push forward a spear attack as well. So he's both. He does that. He can do that, both of those. That's the other thing. He can play the ball very well, long passing and everything as well. So look, he's he's got the build, he's got the physique, he's got the speed. From what I saw, what I've seen, he's got the IQ for defending as well,
Yeah,
which is
he's
probably
an intelligent player too. Yeah.
number one is IQ, and especially at that young age, you'd think he's like in his prime, but he already has that IQ, and that's massive. So that's why so many clubs are after him, and they've been after him. We're trying to get in a bit early because obviously January we're gonna have to overpay, but that's the only way you're gonna get him, because if he goes to the summer, there's, like you said, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid,
Yeah, Madrid
Arsenal,
too. Yeah, Real Madrid's quite
Liverpool.
interesting.
There's
Yeah.
so many clubs. There's literally like 10 to 15 clubs looking at him. So look, he's one of those, a bit like who was saying it earlier. I think Jay on Tobago's was saying, like an Estevão. He's one of those generational sort of young defenders coming up that everybody wants. You have to overpay to get him now, and you get him a year earlier than everyone else, or someone else will get him and pay a little bit more, not too much more, but they'll get him. So this is what kind of the model is. So we try to get these players in early. So yeah, I'm in favor for it. Like I said, I like what I saw. For me, that IQ, and he's built for the Premier League because he's got the physicality, the height, the leap, the aerial duels, the ground clearance, covering ground. He can play in a back three very well. That's what he's plays a lot, in a back three at Rennes. So it's exactly what we need. So, and he can play that CCB or right centre back, both of those, and that's what we need. So
Mhm.
yeah, look, I'm all for it. I would have, I would have liked, like I said, like a Schlotterback, something more experienced. But you don't know if you can get that guy, if he's available, or if he wants to come to Chelsea. Not now, anyway. Maybe end of the season we might go for another one, but for now they're trying to get this guy early.
And also, I mean, he adds because he's good. I'd say better probably than 90% of our current defenders. Yeah, we've talked about
Yeah,
that. Big up Jay, you're on the panel. I will come back to you, Jay.
and if he comes coach, if they're looking at him as a starter straight away, even though
Yeah,
he's 20 years old,
yeah.
they're signing him to be a starter in this team.
He's that good, yeah. Big up Kuchila Dante J. Hopefully Chelsea get a win against Brentford. Up to Chelsea, coming you Blues, keep the blue flag flying high. Thank you for that. I believe you believe it when you see it. Okay, keep believing. At least you believe. That's a good thing. The owners really need to rethink their recruitment approach and go out and get a proven profile, and get a proven uh, um, profile players like Osimhen, Senesi, and Elliot Anderson, etc. Players who actually bring leadership and know how to win. Not a bad comment. I don't know. I think our biggest issue right now isn't leadership. I think we need defensive reinforcement, in my opinion. And Houston, we're not perfect, but the truth remains. This is my opinion. You're entitled to yours. Um, we actually, like we said, when we started, look, you could say it was clear that yeah, all the games we lost plenty. You could say 90% of them, or more than 80% of them, because yeah, we don't have good defenders. We didn't have good defenders in those games. And for me, I'd say actually we're actually 1-2 CB signings away from being title contenders, and I think they know that, which is why they're going for Jeremy right now. Probably will go for one more, and they were hearing they want attacking players too, so they're paying attention to it. Which we could have been, you could say, for some reasons, I can't quite tell why we didn't do that last transfer window. Must have been down to the fact, yeah, some financial restrictions, which would be the correct word, by or from by UEFA, imposed on us by UEFA. So yeah, let them address it. Never, you can say, better late than never. And now, not that late, really. Hopefully, we still make it into top four. Potential is fine, but trophies are won with experience in readiness, winning mentality, not experiments. Jeremy, for me, isn't an experiment. And the truth remains, had let's say if City signed them, a lot of Chelsea fans would be saying that's a master stroke. Yeah, we'll be calling it a master stroke, or you could say a steal, or irrespective of how much they pay for him. Or had he gone to Bayern or Real Madrid last season, people were questioning why we didn't push to sign him. Just as we missed out on Lenny Euro, some Chelsea fans at the time didn't want him, some wanted him, but the moment he went to United, some weren't happy. Then yeah, we let Manchester United sign him. Every signing carries some measure of risk, irrespective of who that person is. Whenever people talk about this, I always mention the case of Fernando Torres, Premier League proven, comes to Chelsea, what happened? I get it when we talked about it. Every time we talk about it, if Max was here, he'd remind me that he was already on a lot of injections, leading to him not being the same, you could say, not being the same Fernando Torres that Liverpool had. So I'm not sure what's happening to my stuff. Yeah, but I think Dante will understand that probably there's an issue on my end, and he'll take it over.
Yeah, coach. You're gonna fix your screen? Okay. Uh, yeah. Look, um, we'll see. I mean, I know Mabas. They pick up Mabas. You said Senesi and Elliot Anderson. Experienced players, winners. Well, they haven't won anything, so there's nothing for them. You can't really put them in that bracket, to be honest. So, yeah. Look, it's like I said, we're trying to get this guy early before everyone else, and yeah, if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. It is a lot to pay for him, obviously, but if you want him early, and they think he's good enough, and he's their number one on been on their lists, well, then just go for it. Simple as that. If you got the money now in January to do it, do it. Go ahead and do it. Uh, can address another one maybe if we need, in the summer, but if you can do it, go ahead and do it now. I don't mind at all.
Jay, let's hear
What
your opinion on Chelsea's pursuit of Jeremy Jacquet. Is that how you pronounce it, Dante?
Jacquet.
Jacquet. Jay, let's hear you. I don't know. My camera turned off. It looks like it finally gives up. But go ahead, Jay.
He's disconnected, coach. Bobby's here. Bobby can
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
Bobby, go ahead if you want to add to that.
I know coach was avoiding me because he's just getting his gang member. Dante, I know you're in his gang, and they want to isolate me and jump me on my own, but there you go. I
Jay
still
is on
keep
the
coming.
panel. He'll still come back.
Yeah, but it's disconnected. So I
Tobago's here too.
Yeah, and Tobago, I think he's on your gang.
I feel better now.
He's in your gang. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, this Jacquet guy, just as I said on Tobago's stream a little earlier. Look, I'm not opposed to the signing, very far from it, but I am cautious. Why? They're expecting this guy to hit the ground running. I really hope and pray he does. But when you find that even the mighty Thiago Silva needed several months to understand and get his groove on with the Premier League, I have concerns about that. Another thing is height.
And rightly
Height.
so. And rightly so, Bobby.
Oh, you're agreeing with me, so I'm
No,
on the
but
right
no,
track.
every signing carries some measure of risk.
Well, another thing is height. Height is Chelsea's weakness. Certainly in the Premier League, everybody has noticed that, and they play to that. He's 1.88 meters tall, which is about 6 foot 1.5, just under 6'2". That's not a bad height in general for a vertically challenged team like Chelsea. But when you say things like, you emphasize things like, oh, he's got a leap on him, to me, that's a red flag. We're looking at overcompensation, I'm looking at injuries. When players start to overcompensate for certain things, that's where they get injuries. Now, I pray that that's not his portion, but that just doesn't make me feel confident. The the shorter you are, the higher you have to leap. Now, Dante made a valid point that when you're about 6'2", 6'6", your, shall we say, technical ability can be somewhat impeded. Well, yes and no. I look at an offensive player like Ekitike, who is 6'6". He's got no problem with his ball control, as was Walter Marde. Now, they are attackers. Defenders may be a bit different. I don't know. I'm sure there are examples I could give. Dan Burn, is he good on the ground? No, but he's certainly good enough on the air in the air to cause a lot of problems to offensive
Bobby,
players.
sorry to cut you off. Did you say Ekitike is 6'6"?
Yeah, Katika is 6'6". Is he not 6'5", 6'6"?
No, Bobby, sorry to cut you off there. But yeah, he's 190 centimeters. He's 6'2".
Well, okay, that's fine. But all the same, I'll take that because I didn't really look into that, to be honest, with any detail. But the point I'm making, Walter
Do you know why
Marde
it
is
looks like
certainly
he's tall
6'6".
like that?
Yeah,
He's
because he's
lanky.
skinny and lanky.
Yeah,
Skinny
exactly.
guy, yeah.
And the same will apply to this guy. Look, I'm not against the signing. I don't know enough about the player. I just want an effective signing. I want somebody to give us steel, both physically and technically. I'm a little worried about his height, but I'd rather he be 6'6", 6'1", than 5'10". Let's put it that way. So, and those are not bad heights in the normal street of life, but we're talking of professional football in the Premier League. So we wait and see. I mean, we haven't even got him yet, but at least they're doing
True.
something to address the problems. Another thing I want to highlight is it really upsets me that they have to buy wrongly in order to look to buy rightly. The truth of the matter is that they wasted the summer, certainly with the flanks. They bought wrongly. And now they're looking for attacking players, which means not only do they have to buy, they're going to have the pressure of selling at some point. I would rather the team be reinforced, whether better late than never. But sadly, getting people in January, you know, what does that do for the rest of the season? Not a lot, because they're still trying to get used to the Premier League, something that they would have been doing at the beginning of a season. So let's wait and see what this guy gives us if we get him. And if he comes in, be welcome to Chelsea. I pray you can cut the mustard, mate. Honestly.
Is everybody gone?
No, we're here. It's all good.
Okay.
I was just
Well,
gonna
how
say,
about Jay? I think Jay is
Jay, yeah.
probably ready to talk. Has he spoken?
Yeah, big up, guys. Big up, coach.
Big up, Jay.
Yeah, just watching the City game, and United are clearly dominating them.
I don't know what's wrong with City these days. Every team dominates them. I don't remember, but they even have more possession, but the opposing team almost always with more XG, more threatening to score.
And they
I'm not
have
sure. I
such
think it might
fantastic
be a
players.
confidence thing.
They have such
Yeah,
fantastic players and acquiring more. So there's no excuse for
yeah.
them there.
Yeah,
That's why
Even with
the
their
Mark
100
might
Guehi
be
million
signing
strategy
plus.
doesn't
try to
really.
buy the league this season.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, Jay.
they require Semenyo and Guehi like no other team. They really need those players because they are really, really poor. I mean, United could have like 3 goals here. And by the way, also, Dallo was a clear red. I don't know why it's always Chelsea. When the red card, it's obvious. And when other players give, they always given the benefit of the doubt is given to those. So, anyways,
Yeah, the
that's
inconsistency is crazy.
exactly like he could have taken the knee off a Doku in that tackle. I don't know how he survived that. Um, uh, the young defender. Look, I think we had a small discussion on Tobago's channel, and he's a good one. He's a good player, very, very renowned. I won't say like I've watched him a lot, Certainly not. I've learned about him from the last 2 days, I think. A few facts and some clips of him here and there. Uh, but yeah, it's a name that I have heard about, maybe from the last two transfers,
Yeah.
especially around the bigger clubs, Arsenal, Liverpool, and even, in the coming summer window, it is presumed that maybe Bayern and Real Madrid could also be around it. So you have to be something really talented for those clubs for to be around or investigating about you. So he's definitely talented, and I think we will have something good. Will that good come right now? That's my biggest fear and my biggest doubt. I certainly feel like he will require some time. Now that time can be maybe a few weeks to few months. We have seen
Oh,
that,
he can hit the
especially
ground running immediately. I mean, we've seen that before.
exactly. But the percentage of that would be really low. He's a 20-year-old kid coming from the French league to one of the toughest league in Premier League, so the odds of that is really low, and that's one fact to really consider. So talent-wise, I think he's really good, and but my whole argument will be centered for people who saying, we have to buy him right now because the other clubs, the bigger clubs, against whom we cannot really compete in the summer, so we
Hmm.
have to buy him right now. Well, I agree with that, but I think that is in the bracket of luxury. We have to fix the basics before really targeting, the luxuries. And for that, I think we needed a guy who could have helped us, you know, by hitting the ground running, coming in and be a starter. I think this guy would be a starter. I think that is one of the conditions that they will guarantee him for him to really, agree to come right now. So I think experienced guy in the defense would have been the much better choice. And for me personally, and logically as well, the purpose and the mindset around signings in the January transfer window is emergency or urgency. You don't really buy players just randomly in the summer in the January window. There is a certain urgency. That is why only you're going. And the buyer club and the seller club both are aware of this fact, and hence the prices are also over the top and really inflated. So it just doesn't really uh, hit my mind properly that if we are buying someone for that fees in the summer, and then he needs to be a guy who would come and help us immediately, and logic says otherwise. I think this guy will require some time, and it is no fault of his. He's a young kid from the French league, and that is my only problem. I think we should have. I still think that we can buy this guy and just throw 15 million for the Bournemouth guy, Senesi, and I think for 15 million would do the deal. We've seen like Mark Dewey going to City for what, 20 million. So I think 15 million or something like that would be enough for buying the Bournemouth guy. But the whole argument is he doesn't really have any value or the resale value. That is why we might not go for him. And it just then the argument goes to the broader topic whether the whole model and this thinking really should be this much stringent and strict
Okay.
when we need improvement right now.
Can I just explain something to your point, Jay? Just two quick things.
Yeah, for
One,
sure.
never ever call clubs bigger than Chelsea Football Club among Chelsea fans. That is a no-no.
That's a warning.
That aside, no, that aside. But that's
I was
true,
waiting for that from Bobby.
we don't take that. But that aside, no, really, Jay, this is the project, isn't it? Like it or loathe it, this is the project. We look for young players, the best of the young players, and if we get better ones, we buy them, and then those we can, the others we can sell. So I don't think we're going to change that, and I really don't think they are. Rightly or wrongly, they're not going to look for that Bournemouth guy. I
They're
think
actually
they'll go
looking at
all
him.
out for this guy.
They've talked about him. They're considering him, Senesi, right? Because you
Yeah.
never know. But the question is whether we end up signing two CBs this window, except if we were able to move on one or two players.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, to be honest. Not this January. The only reason they're doing the January deal, to be fair, it's not about the competition. It's about the cost price. With more competition, will become more cost price, and we're not prepared to pay ridiculous wages that others might be prepared to do. That's what it is. So we try and get it done now by using a high price of January to tempt the likes of Rennes to say, okay, let's get the money that's coming our way because it could still be useful. But as we've said, the deal isn't done yet, so we don't really know what's going to happen.
Yeah, whether we've signed him or not, because we're still looking at all the options. And Senesi is one of the names on the list, right?
As
Apparently, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, he
as
is. It's
told, yeah.
Senesi, then it's
It's just
Jakob.
PR. It's just PR for Senesi. They're not going to sign an older player. We know that.
I mean, I'm not into you could say saying everything I see online is PR. You could be correct, but I think they're considering him, in my opinion. But
Can't be a PR because he's cheap. First of all, because
yeah,
his contract
exactly.
is going to run
So there
down,
are,
and
yeah,
secondly, he's a really good ball playing centre back, which is the requirement
yeah, exactly.
we need.
So if we
By
don't
the way,
sign him,
I didn't
it'd
mean
be
to
for
cut
other
you off,
reasons.
Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off. You know, we're gang members. All these others are just they're happy that I cut you off because it's weakening our gang. So
You knew exactly what
they
you were
listen.
doing. Bobby, let me start with you. Let's talk about I don't know if we'll be able for yeah, the lineup probably will come out. Yeah, the lineup is out, so we're not gonna do the lineup prediction exercise. If anything,
Already?
we do the lineup reaction. Um let's talk about Gray. And I see some people on X. Sorry. Let's hear from Tobeho before we talk about Guehi. How
Yeah.
people are disingenuously just floating that Man City paid 20 million without talking about how much his salary is, which is a huge factor. But Tobeho, let's hear you on Jacquet. Your thoughts on the player.
Yeah, in terms of a player, I'm good with the player. But the only issue is that we're going to spend a lot of money for him. So that's not an issue. And he's the same profile as Josh Archimpong. So
But
why?
Joshua Chipong isn't it traditionally a right back?
But we moved him to a centre back. But he
That
can
that
play
was that
both
was
roles.
that was Maresca.
Yes, I agree with you. But remember the time Enzo Maresca was looking for a centre back. What did the briefing says? If you sign a centre back, it's going to block Joshua Chimpong pathway. So why are we signing a player now? What about the pathway of Joshua Chimpong? So clearly, these guys were lying to us. They denied Enzo Maresca centre back. Now they want to panic buy.
Yeah,
That's the
they make
issue.
a mistake and then go back.
Yeah, so yeah, so for me personally, if this was sensible, I would go for Sanesi because it's much cheaper, and then I think I already have 6 months left on his contract, so it's cheaper than the other ones. And then in the summer we can go for sensible centre back. For now, 64 million for him. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. But if, overall,
That's euros, right?
yeah, that's euros, but that's a lot, coach.
In this market, I don't think it's bad.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. But in
in
terms of the
euros,
play,
that's in pounds. How much? And how much is United pay? How much does United pay for Lenny Euro? And how much did Madrid pay for what's that kid? The Spanish kid, Spanish Dutch kid.
How much did Man City pay for Kusanov?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
So
think
in
it
this
was
market, it's
all
not
of these
bad,
are
and as
around
long as
60 million.
it's in euros, I don't think it's bad, really. The market is inflated, but go ahead, Tabeo.
yeah, like I said, in terms of profile, I've got no issue. But the issue is that is the price tag. So let's see, man.
Um, okay, Bobby, let me come to you.
Yep.
Let's talk about Mark Guehi. As I said, a lot of big accounts on X are floating the transfer fee, and they're actually blaming the owners for selling for our current owners for selling him, and blaming them not buying him. But that's by the way. It was Marina that sold him, not even and because he asked to leave. The club at the time I remember wanted to keep him, but he wanted to be starting games week in week out, which I don't blame him for. Then we sold him and inserted a sell-on clause. the question I want to ask, I just want you to talk about that so that we can educate our listeners.
Mm.
Because as I've mentioned, a lot of big accounts just misleading people, just going up by the transfer fee, not mentioning his salary, which I heard is something in the region of 300k plus. Um, and I don't think he'd actually listen to us, knowing that we offer a heavily incentivized salary and probably not going to get anything close to that because that will cause a lot of issues for us. But let's hear you talk about it, Bobby.
Now, this is an interesting topic because Mark Gurhey was one of those Chelsea Academy products that I've been blessed enough to have watched quite a bit, especially in the days where we were the dominant force of the Youth FA Cup. Um, he, like a guy, a young guy, what's his name? Bruno, I've forgotten his name now, surname, the Dutch kid. There were two centre backs that I didn't really understand why they were not able to progress enough at Chelsea, especially Gurhey, because Gurhey came at a time where we were beginning to get into the academy use of the academy players. But what was unfortunate for him was that by the time we had the transfer ban, the former Chelsea ownership actually sold him, and he went to Palace. I'm not sure why, because I think there was a buyback or sell-on clause on him, and I'm not sure why Chelsea never really showed interest after that. And it seems curious to me when Maresca had the opportunity to get him back, he came up with that washed excuse, so it will get in the way of Josh Hachimpong, which is absolute nonsense. It's like this new guy, he's not going to get in the way with Josh. You can play them both. And at the very worst, it adds to your squad strength in depth because you've got options for various games, various times in the game, and so on. So I'm not sure. I can't even say that I've watched Gehi as much as perhaps I should have in Palace. I've seen one or two games, and he seemed good to me. But somewhere along the line, there's a chemistry there that a lot of Chelsea people, past and present, didn't seem to fancy. It's going to be interesting to see his journey at Man City because Pep isn't going to, he doesn't suffer fools easily. And if you're not really cutting the mustard, you'll find yourself coming off the bench more times than not. So the simple answer is I don't know. I can't say I wish him well anywhere outside of Chelsea, but I'm just watching with interest. If he's the player that he was at Crystal Palace, then my goodness me, the squad that Man City have assembled is absolutely frightening. And the fact that they've done this with 115 financial charges is even more frightening. So I don't, I don't know. For me, I would have had him back in a heartbeat, just as we've discussed many times on this platform. But for some reason, they didn't go for it, and it can't be money. If you're ready to pay 65, 67 million for Jacquet, well, you know, Gui would have been less than that. Guhi would have been less than that, and
How about the salary?
the age difference is not that
He
much.
wouldn't be less, Bobby. He wouldn't be less.
He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been up to 67 million pounds. That's for sure. He
They were
wouldn't.
actually asking for 80 million, but if it was Chelsea, it would have been a lot less.
Yeah, because of his
Salon clause
salon
also.
or
Okay.
so and
No,
so.
but if you factor in the salary, Bobby, it's way more than Jacquet. If we buy Jacquet
That's
and pay
that's
his
where I
salary,
think the
way
Well,
problem
more.
lies.
well,
And
I was
yeah, go ahead.
I was about to answer that. I thought, maybe it's a wage issue, which is what I was going to say, which is probably the same thing that caused the problem with Olise, Michael Olise. So look, it is what it is. This is where I kind of understand the ownership. We have to have a wage structure because of all these regulations. We have to have a wage structure, and because Chelsea in particular has a target on their back in terms of any regulation breach, we have to have things buttoned down, I's dotted and T's crossed, because we can see our neighbours in Man City doing all sorts with financial charges. I can assure you, if that was Chelsea, that wouldn't be the case. So I kind of get it. And I kind of get that they're trying to stick to their model with their purchases. But would I have had Gehi? Of course, absolutely. I think he would have been better for us than anywhere else, because this is just coming home for him. But clearly, as has been said, I think the wages has been the sticking ground.
Yeah, Man United are currently leading by a goal to nothing, and they moved up to fourth place. So we definitely need to win today in case they win. But I still believe City will get something out of that game, even though they've been poor. I don't know. Pep is actually losing it. No joke. Pep is losing his touch. I agree. Notice how many players he signs, but they aren't thriving. E.g., Omar Mamouche. Yeah, he's something isn't quite clicking for him,
They're getting
and I'm
ready
not
for
sure.
Maresca.
Sorry,
They're getting ready for Maresca.
possibly, and you can, yeah, that might well be the case. Um, honestly, let me see what let me see what we have here. Big up to all of you. Anything to read here? Nothing. Pep is just Jose Mourinho want to be signs of players, but doesn't play them properly. Players like Mamouche and Grealish, because Pep believes he can reinvent the wheel. I have to say, we don't want those kids. This is not. Uh, okay. Tosin. No, it's Tosin. Yeah, he is actually. Wow. So what's going on? But let me do something quickly.
Oh, that's good. I
I rather
thought he would start.
sorry.
I had him pinned. We talked about with Tobago. I was pretty sure he's going to start this game because of their striker and how many balls they put into the
Mhm.
box and set pieces.
Yeah, and he's improved a bit of late, irrespective of what we think of him, and we have to work with what we have. If United win today, they finish above us. Let's see. City not getting nothing out of this game. Neither is Chelsea with Tosin and Trev at the back. We'll find out. Congratulations to Arsenal. We'll see. Okay, there's still a long way to go. So this is the lineup. Let's start with you, Dante. You can say it.
Sorry, coach. I was
Uh,
just laughing at something I saw about the protest.
oh, okay, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, they you know how we said they're not, they're not good. They don't know what they're doing. Well, the main banner, I'm just looking at it, is the clowns who destroyed Chelsea, and they've got them like in weird in pictures crossed out. And my goodness, the two organizers, those guys that are organizing, and they won't be happy with that. That's not what they
They
wanted.
will
But
not, because you remember we talked about how majority of those that are interested in being part of the protest and protesting, going there to protest objectively, they just want the owners out, and
correct,
probably they've overpowered the original planners, and
of
what
course.
everybody will see is clowns everybody out. But go ahead, what you're saying. I want to hear what you make of the lineup, so we can hear from the others too.
And there's 200 people there at the moment, 200 strong. That's nothing. Anyway, yeah, look, the lineup expected. I did expect Tosin to start because their striker is quite a physical guy, tall guy, very, very good in the air as well. So I expected that. They are very good at set pieces. They score quite a lot of goals from set pieces. So I knew Tosin will start this game because of that, and he's probably our best aerially by far. He's our best, guy in the air. So he's there for that, and he did that job last game as well. When a lot of the balls came in, he cleared him pretty much everything. So yeah, he's there for that specific reason. And this is the type of game you need Tosin. A guy like a Tosin, you need him in there because it really helps. And if you play him in other games where he's got space, they can run in behind him and stuff like that, well then he struggles. But if you play him in games like this, yes, he suits 100%. So I thought he would be starting. The other surprise, Estevão,
Esther will
maybe.
not even on the bench, so he must be ill.
I think he's ill. Yeah, I think
Yeah, the what's it called? Is it flu? That's
yeah,
been
because it's going through the team. Yeah, it's going. The
wow.
assistants have it as well, I think, and some of the medical staff have it as well. They said so. Yeah, it's going through the team, unfortunately. Yeah, so he must be the next one that's probably copped it because he was going to start. He's on the program. He's on the front of the program. He was definitely going to start this game. When they do that, they always start. So yeah, he's probably sick, or maybe let's hope he didn't get pick up something in the warm up, an injury. We'll wait and see what happens with that one. But
I hope it's just ill, that he's ill, which he can recover from quickly than
yeah,
one
most likely
injury.
because it's going through, like I said. Look, interesting with Garnacho and Neto. So it looks like we're gonna play with maybe with wingers in this game. I don't think it might not be three at the back. You know, it might be the four at the back with James there. So it'll be interesting to see how much they overlap and how exactly the formation, evens itself out. Because with those two on the field, Garnacho, Neto can do that wing back role but Garnacho, I don't think he can do that really too much. So be interesting to see how we line up exactly when we start playing. But the rest is good. It's a good team. That's why I would have picked as well. I'm very happy that James, we're going to see him finally in that position, back to his usual position. Perfect. I want to see that.
All right. How about you, Jay? Your thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, obviously I was not expecting Tosin. I should have because I think obviously Dante mentioned the factor about height and the striker. He obviously gives advantage of the height. Although my fears with the partnership of Tosin and Chalobah will always be there because I have been, and I think most of the fans have been haunted enough time to forget it this quickly. Uh, oh my God, City is finished.
Yeah,
Second goal.
2-0 Man United.
Oh
Gosh.
God.
And that goal
They are
defensively,
done,
you
man.
can see why they want a defender. He was totally
Can't believe.
outmuscled off the ball.
They still have good numbers. They have like 10,000 defend. I think confidence is part of it.
Well, whatever. I
There's no
don't care.
excuses, to be honest.
There's no
He's got no
I mean, the
excuses.
decline is like mammoth. I can't believe it. I mean, if you have watched the game from minute one, it's shocking. They have dominated United. Like I think it's City only had like 10%, stuff in the game. 90% it has been United. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that
I
was
think
a
that's the
bad
title
goal.
wrapped up for Arsenal.
Yeah, Dogu just bullied him like a baby. That's not good.
Although
Not
Man
that I
United should have
care,
probably
but
2 red cards as well, though. I don't know how they didn't get those red cards. Like you said, Jay, I saw
Y-
that
Yeah,
another one.
that
Yeah,
might have changed the game. It would be controversial.
And
yeah, and
even I just
also
saw what's his name, the fullback on Doku as well. The Dalot, the guy, the fullback, full over his knee.
Yeah. Um, I think the reason, another reason could be that Fofana has played like 3 days back, so obviously he's not going to start this quickly. That has been the plan from the very beginning.
Yep.
So that is also one factor for that. So I mean, they have to prove this. Chalobah and Tosin, they have to prove it for people or fans to really, have the trust back because there hasn't been really. Yes, I think coach mentioned that Tosin has been doing well. I mean, I think there's just one game in which he's like done a decent performance, or he has been maybe tested. So there isn't really that big of a data to say that he's back and he's back to his normal self. I still have doubts, and this match could be one of those good ways to start that improvement. And I really want to trust Chalobah and Tosin because Tosin obviously brings that height factor, but with that height factor, he also brings a lot of you know negative aspects which cost us goals and sometimes the whole of 3 points. So yeah, that is my only concern. The two at
How
the
dare
back.
you say Heidi's not good, Jay? Bobby won't like that.
Yeah. You know what? With the height thing, I remember Bediashi.
Conte just
So
went
yeah, he's
down.
very tall. He's I think decent in the air. But again, if you're decent in the air, you have good height. That doesn't mean you're a good defender.
Exactly.
Tosin and
Barishal has got no
Bediashi,
leap at all. He can't jump.
exactly.
Who cannot jump? Who?
Barishal can't jump.
Yeah,
He's not
he's
a.
tall for nothing, really.
Yeah, he just
And,
doesn't know how
and,
to
and I
jump
wanted to
at all.
ask, what's his name? Chalobah and Chalobah and
well,
Fofana. Which of the two players is better, really? Go ahead, Tomeho.
Fofana,
Fofana's better. Chalaba area is so poor, man.
very
So
poor. Yeah.
I don't understand why even Trevor Chalaba started in this game because aerially he won't do anything. So hopefully he will work on that. But in terms of our centre backs, sometimes when I watch Chelsea, whoever plays as centre back, I don't care anymore because all of them I don't trust them anymore.
Yeah, probably the sort of changes the manager made the other day showed. Yeah, he doesn't trust them that much. Congratulations to Arsenal. They really did it. Still
No,
not
no, no,
quite,
still
not quite.
far.
Yeah, not quite because yeah. How many points are there above Aston Villa? Because Villa looks like the real deal this season. Actually, even City, you don't count them out yet, irrespective of the issues they're having. I don't think you should count them out. Let's see. Pep should have used Tijani Ranger instead. Let's see. Top player who was, even if we somehow win today, which is very unlikely, United are point clear with the game in hand. We still have a long way to go. I'm still hopeful that we make it top there, but I cannot say for certain
Well,
when that happens.
let's win first.
Yeah, let's win first.
people people are calculating. Let's just get a win first. Do you want
Which,
to ask me about this the selection, or are you
Go
still
ahead, Bobby.
keeping me out of the? No, I'm not too thrilled about the selection because yet again it exposes our weaknesses. I know I talk a lot about physicality, about Dante doesn't like that. I don't, Dante, I have no idea how tall or on tall you are. It's not the issue to me. It's nothing personal. It's just an observation based on the realities I see in
No, no,
our
you know I
game.
like physicality, and I've always said that before, even before I got on the panel.
It's
Coach
not
can
even.
confirm it.
It's
But
not
the
even that
other
I
ones,
like
even the
it.
other thing is a joke. It's
Yeah,
just we
Correct.
everybody knows the
I know.
chat knows the
Nah, coach want to get us fighting. I know.
physicality
You
thing is
don't
a
trust
Bobby
this
thing.
guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, I talk of
No, it's not
physicality.
about fighting. Dante is right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. No, I talk about physicality, not even that I like physicality or anything like that. It's that I know it's what coaches and teams use in the Premier League to gain a significant advantage. It's like the long throw coming back. Coaches have seen that using the long throw, a lot of big guys in the box, a lot of argy bargy gets them knock ons that can lead to goals and often leads to goals. So it's actually a technical and a tactical thing more than anything else. But coming to our selection, you see, it shows our issues. I don't know. Is Asugo on the bench?
No, it
Not.
looks like he's ill too. He's not even on the bench.
Oh, there you go. Is the lap?
On the
Is he
bench
on the
we
bench?
have Jorgensen, Benwa Badashile, Hato, Achampong, Wesley Fafana, Andreas Santos Leon. The lap is back on the bench. Mark Gui, Tariq George, and that's it. So Esugo isn't even listed as injured. So probably ill.
Okay. Well, we keep having these deficiencies, and another reason, we've got Tosin playing. I don't like it because I don't fancy him as a player anyway, but I do like it because it tells me that Liam Rosenior is extremely aware of just what I was talking about, physicality. And if there's one weapon that the Brentford team use a lot and effectively is with the long throws into the box.
No,
And if
they
you've not,
still do that under the new manager.
yes,
yes. And actually, the new manager is a side piece coach. He was a side piece coach before.
oh, there
So
you
Oh
this,
yeah,
go.
yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so this is his bread and butter for him.
Exactly. So you look at Coach challenging me. Coach,
No,
we've
I'm not
been doing
challenging you.
this
I'm
for
asking what's
years.
the question, Bobby?
Okay, well, yes, he is. And if you watch their games, it's been very effective for them. So we need to get our tallest in there. And somehow he feels, well, Badia Shield isn't really that guy. And Tosin, not that he's particularly that guy, but he's used to the Premier League. He knows what to expect. And
And
he's
he's
got
good,
the
really.
yeah, he's good enough. Let's put it that way. I
Mhm.
think he could be better. So that's all we've got, and it exposes the little we've got. The concern I have is that our defensive midfield, the two sixes or the 6.5, however we're going to play, is not going to give us any aerial support, really. And that's always been our other weakness. back in the day when we had uh, Mikel. Mikel used to do a lot of defensive work then in that way. And even when we had little Makaleli, there was people like Michael Ballack around him. And of course, Frank Lampard would often go in there. But at the moment, our midfield, as good as they are, because our midfield, as far as I'm concerned, is probably our strongest point, they lack aerial prowess. And that's another weakness. So the attackers in set pieces are going to have to drop back. João Pedro, who we had a lot of aerial hope for, well, against Arsenal, the way Ben White made a fool of him for that first goal, despite the nonsense done by Sanchez, is something that we need to we need to use. We need to get him to say, just like Drogba, when we had set pieces, corners, you've got to drop back and help the defenders, because our problem is not just the defenders, is those supporting areas around the defense that are weak. So the lineup, well, it is what it is. It's our success will depend on how they apply the tactics that Liam Rosenior gives them, and hopefully he gives them the right tactics to apply.
Yeah. Tavera, have you spoken about the lineup?
Yeah, I'm actually fine with the lineup. Just like I said, Garnacho has been rewarded after his 2 goals. I just want him to continue from there. That's my biggest issue with our attackers. Sometimes they can score 2 goals or 1 goal and assist. The following game, they play rubbish. So they better be consistent. So hopefully today he can continue from the Arsenal game and add 1 goal or more. I'll be happy. In terms of João Pedro, I need more from this guy. For me personally, I'm not impressed with him. Maybe after the Club World Cup, because it's been on and off. That's the issue. So hopefully today he can give us something new. In terms of Kolopama, bro, stop complaining a lot on the pitch. Just play your game, because every time it seems like Cole Palmer is not focused during the games. He complains a lot, not focusing on
It
the
just looks as if he's trying to deflect his form on his teammates.
exactly. So
On
he
his
needs.
teammates, yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue with Cole Palmer. So I hope Lim Rosenia will tell me that, look, bro, you still got it. We need the old Cole Palmer back, and then if Cole Palmer is back, I think we win this game. But again, and Igor Thiago is on form at the moment, so I hope we have a plan to mark him to not score a goal, because he's on a good form this season. But let's see, man. I hope we win. We need 3 points.
I hope we win. Dante, just quickly, how do we need to operate? You say, approach this game to get a win.
Yeah, look, it just depends how we set up, really. But they're they're pretty well organized team. They're pretty much they're going to go man for man. Looks like match up the formation, so it's going to be quite man to man. But they will sit a little bit deeper, and then they like to go long to Igor Thiago. And like I said, they score, I think, one of the most in the Premier League as well. They're up there with sixes as well. So they like to go out wide, and catch on the counter. So we just got to be careful with that. It's good. We've got a Cucurella there, and then we've got James on the other side. So we should be pretty good to cover that. Yeah, look, Garnacho needs to score 2 goals every game. He has to be consistent. So he
No,
needs
no, 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 no.
that's the
Dante,
bar.
wait. No, 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 Dante. Don't do that. It's not about scoring goals. It's about continuing what you left off, right? The biggest issue this
Yes.
game is
No, I'm
on
just
farm.
joking.
Yeah, this game he plays like Cristiano Ronaldo. The following game he plays like Bakayoko. That's the issue.
Game, he's
Yep.
what's the is
So
it
yeah,
the
look,
guy that Liverpool signed for Portugal that has everything except put away
he's
chances.
starting again. He gets chance, like you said. You got he
Sorry. Okay, that connection is fluctuating.
Yeah, can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So look, yeah, he gets his chance, Garnacho today. So he's getting rewarded. So that's good. Rosenior likes him. I think he likes him because he works hard, makes a lot of runs. He likes that in players. So from his forward players. So let's hope he does well. But Cole Palmer's the one to watch. Yeah, definitely Cole Palmer. He needs to really step it up and really be a bit more involved and really start producing a little bit. So let's hope his groin's good and it's not bothering him too much. But he's key. He's very key to that, especially with Jacquet up in front of him. They those two play very well together when they do play, which hasn't been too often. But they get a chance today and at home. Hopefully they can get that connection going again.
All right. Anything else you guys want us to talk about before we call it a day? I'm tired. My eyes.
I just saw that Jacquet apparently agreed personal terms. I think
Ooh, from who?
all 6 million per year, so 100,000 per year salary.
Yeah, and then also just informed Rennes that he wants to join Chelsea. This is the latest report
Yeah,
from Ben
yeah.
Jacobs.
So it's looking like this probably get done. I
Is that
mean,
the
Chelsea.
only signing we're looking to sign this window?
Yeah, but they said a midfielder is possible if there's a
If
chance
if
there's
if they get an opportunity.
yes. So I think they might sign as midfielder and push Enzo Fernandez more as a 10 if Kopama's injury is getting worse. But let's see.
Yeah. I want just something else I want us to talk about quickly before we call it a day. Estevão not even on the bench, probably ill. Look at our bench after spending 2 billion. I think you guys have started doing what we call convenient mathematics. But when we were winning, the narrative changed to look at Chelsea now. Other people are copying their project
You're
when
sounding
even
like they're
even
sounding like
even
from other
Caraga,
clubs. Yeah,
even Caraga changed his narrative at the time because we won the Club World Cup. So you guys has to be consistent. Go ahead, Dante. You were saying something. Sorry.
I'm just saying. Yeah, saying 2 billion. It sounds like people from other clubs like they don't know the real sums and they're talking. They're inflating it by like a billion basically. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
call it convenient mathematics. They exaggerate it
convenient
every time they
mathematics.
talk
Yeah.
about it. Um, let's see. Tibet JP is on Saul status in my book. Wow. After today, Chelsea can finish 12th after match 22. Okay. 2 billion spent to buy kids Lego. Okay, here's the 2 billion thing. Not new to me. Let's talk about the Lego thing. There's something called team building. It's nothing new. And
Wow,
Lego,
3-0.
sorry.
3-0. Gosh, Man
Well,
City are
he's gonna get fired.
imploding.
Maresca's coming in.
Yeah, gosh, they're imploding. And it's not like this is a bad perform. They don't even look good. It's wow.
But
I
but
am
also
surprised.
I don't
also
think they'll
again,
fire him. They'll let him finish the season out of
Yeah, of course,
respect.
of
yeah,
course.
but in terms of Michael Carrick is a good coach. I've been watching Middlesbrough last season. They've been playing well. Unfortunately, the championship is much tougher than the Premier League, in my opinion. So if you have a quality players, I think Manchester United could sneak in the top five because it's
Yeah,
actually a good coach.
I
Are
think
you
they can
saying
do worse
championship
than
managers are better, Tobago?
well.
Hmm?
Carrick, he's proved himself with Middlesbrough. To be honest, and if we could give Maresca a chance, I think Man United could do worse.
Maresca. Let's forget about Maresca.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Let's talk about the Lego thing. There's something called team building, and something I want to say quickly. This is as the same thing as when people started talking about how the owners talk a lot about that data. It's nothing new. It's just that when you find yourself in certain situations, people will always find a way. You can say, will always find a way to make it into something that it isn't. Because of our
Yeah, you're
situation, it's easy to make fun that they build in Legos. Do you think Legos? I'm not sure how else to say it.
no.
Legos it's not a kid's thing alone. It has levels.
Coach, there's always been team building exercises, whether it be table tennis or video games. I remember a time where was it was Mourinho that encouraged John Terry to take the players out paintballing. I mean, it's not even newsworthy. I don't know who came out with this and why they would think we would care. They probably went for something like Lego building because he doesn't want them to be physically active. It's a relaxation time and they can bond with the injured players. So, nah, that's not it for me. That's just silly.
Yeah, offside. The goal is offside.
And I'd rather them because
Okay.
we don't know what they do when they go home. I'd rather them play Lego than play video games all night. I don't know. Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Actually, here's the most annoying aspect of this. He didn't wear a gloves, and somebody wrote an article how he didn't wear gloves so that when he claps, players can hear him. And the big account and shamelessly, like
Yeah.
Unistock Football, quoted it and was going, "Wow, how something to the effect of how did we get here? What have we turned into? Even if our club, even if we have issues, how is the guy not wearing gloves during a training session? How is that an issue? Even if he did, it's what he feels will work for him, or maybe has worked for him. And why is that a problem? Maybe next thing now we'll hear that he wears pink underpants or brown underpants. No, as funny as it sounds, we actually, because we found ourselves in such situation, we started behaving like idiots. Everything is an issue. How about Mikel Arteta that bought a dog, name it, is it victory or success or whatever? The human mind, there are things you can say, mindset maybe, little
Just
things
petty,
like
coach.
that can lead
Petty stuff.
them playing, working on the Lego together, can help them bond properly, and it translates on the pitch. Maybe people that haven't worked for organizations or maybe don't know what team building how it works. That's why it's an issue that they talked about him clapping, or you can say not wearing gloves to clap and all that becomes an issue. The guy speaks the way he's been speaking since I've started listening to him. They say he talks too much. Michael Richards said he's setting himself up like Amorim did. He's a better manager than Amorim. And some of us actually don't even want to go pay attention to what he achieved with the young squad he had last season. Everything is an issue.
Yeah.
Everything he
Embarrassing.
does is an issue. That's not okay, really.
No, it's not okay.
I think I
Yeah.
can.
Putting the coach
I
down
can
like
try.
that and making fun of him and mockery and all this stuff they're doing, like, come on, support your team, support the coach, support the players. Okay, you don't like the owners, whatever, sporting directors, but don't do that to the new coach coming in. I mean,
They
that's
don't want
really
to. They
not
don't want to
supporting.
support. And majority, not majority. A lot of them don't want to support him. They want him to
No, they
fail.
don't. No. There's at the protest. There's a banner with him. What's it called? Being a puppet to Fingo. So, I mean, this is the problem. Yes, they can't support him because of that. So, it is what it is. But it's
Can
embarrassing.
I?
Yeah, it's not right.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Unfortunately.
Let me try to, kind of let devil's advocate or something like that. I don't really want to do, but yeah, let me try to explain a bit, part of this whole thing that we saw. I think these are two different matters, and we are kind of confusing him. I think
Just fixing
I agree
everything
with
together.
I agree with the fact that these things are kind of important. Uh, not everything that we see on the pitch has to be the same, off the pitch or at the training. I think there are activities and stuff that needs to be done, which are maybe if not physical, but maybe mentally
Mentally,
improving.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. As a player, they help you build some things, mentally. But I think the whole issue, personally, from my point of view, and I think there is a huge section, who made a matter out of this. There is a huge section who takes problem out of the briefing. No one can tell me here that this is something that needs to be briefed, or is this brief worthy. There
What do
hasn't
you
been
mean
cases
brief?
in the
doesn't
past
make
where
sense, really.
there hasn't been cases in the past where we are hearing from the major clubs that the manager is removing his gloves and clapping. This is not brief worthy. There hasn't been briefs where, about bigger clubs, that the manager is including activities like Legos. I don't think that it is important to put it out on the internet.
Now,
We
who wrote
all
those
can
articles?
agree. It is funny.
Jay, who wrote
Do
those
you
articles?
think that came from the club? I don't think so. Even if it came from the club,
I do
why
think,
is it
I
an
don't think
issue?
it's a makeup. That is the problem, coach.
Jay, come on,
That is the
Jay.
problem. I think
Look
the
at the
fans are
sources.
taking issues with the people
Let's hear Jay
who are
Dante. Go
briefing the
ahead.
media. I think the fans are taking issues with certain people. I don't know who works, with this section of the club, who are actually briefing or who thinks this is going to actually help. This is not. This was obviously a bad idea,
That's
and we
because you
have seen.
believe that it's coming from the club, right?
Yeah, I think I actually believe that these things does come from the club, or maybe there is a separate section of the club which is dedicated to maybe PR or briefings or all these things. And this is not the first case where where we are actually hearing something funny or which is not worthy to be out on the internet. It is funny. You are giving the example of Arteta. Arteta has been mocked to this day for those activities. We have laughed at Arteta for such things.
And probably works for him. We just listen. I made joke of it only when they bottled the league. But I understand what team building is because I've been part of it. I've led some, and for me, making fun of it was because they lost. Because okay, how did that work out for you guys? Something like that. But it shouldn't be
Coach,
an issue with our big accounts.
again, as I said, I think these are two different matters. Whether it is helping the team, I think I agree. Maybe mentally it does, but this does not really have to be on the internet or briefs. This is not important to come
I
out. And if
I
it
I'd
will
say
come out, this is human tendency. It will look fun. These are professional players who are really earning a lot of money, who are really representing a whole lot of people. Playing a
can I
really
ask you
serious
something,
sport.
Jay? Let me ask you something. Do you can you can say imagine how boring it'd be if all they do is just come run do rondo is that how you pronounce it, rondo, or yeah, one you say, and then the manager comes in very very serious, just say okay, after that do some you can say leg stretching exercise or all that, that's it, let's go, six aside, that's it, we're done. It would become
It's
even
not
more.
Coach,
Sunday league.
let me give you an example. Right, there are some activities for the militaries, right? Around the world, there are countries where there are obviously militaries, armies and all. There are activities for the entertainment, which is good for their mental health, which is part of the schedule. But when you brief out that the particular nation's particular army
The
is actually
question
watching this
is,
for the
Jay,
mental
we're
thing,
coming back to where
it's
we are.
going to
I,
look
I
funny.
agree. You understand the importance of team building and the importance of doing such thing. How do we know that the club briefed that? It could have been a player that found it funny and then put it out there. I don't think a club, for me, what sort of briefing is that? I don't believe you have every right to believe that was the case, but I think
Then the
I see it
argument should be
differently.
why are the people then the argument should be why are the fans actually believing that this comes from the club. That should be the issue rather than why are they taking fun of such a thing, because it is funny. It shouldn't be on the internet. I think
Yeah,
I don't
it
see,
shouldn't be. But why is it funny? For me, it's not funny. For me, the question where I'm focused is why is that an issue, really? But go ahead, what you were saying.
and especially the timing as well. Especially the timing as well. When you're winning the league, when you're challenging for the bigger, titles and all, this will maybe slide and people will not take notice of it. The timing is horrible. You can't expect people to really be don't really take what consider these things as a serious matter, and take cognizance that yes, this is important when the team is actually sitting on the eighth position and really really struggling. Their manager has been sacked. I think timing is also important. The problem, as I said, I agree with you that these stuffs are important, But the matter should be whether these things should be on the internet or not. The timing
I
is
think
so horrible that the fans are.
your main point is, uh, it is you believe that the club did that, but your only issue is that it's ill timed.
Yes, I think it's ill time. We are not really doing well, and in general as well. That would be maybe something personal to me only. That would be my personal opinion only. I think these 11 players are earning a lot of money. They're playing a really serious sport. They are representing a lot of people. And when you associate, the stuff that we are hearing with them, when they are not doing well on the pitch, which is their main task, the final result, that people's reaction is going to be something that we are seeing right now.
So what because they haven't been trained, that because they're doing that and not training, is that what you're saying, or what? What I don't get it.
No, when you're really, not playing well, which is evident because the results are not there. We are
But
eighth,
Jay, every
and
single
we
team
are
does
actually.
something like that, and activities. Every single at that level, they do stuff like that. Probably, every month they do stuff like that. But at the training ground, they do something different every week. There's a new activity every single week because it needs to be mixed up and a bit of fun
Again,
and
you're
a sense
confusing the
of
matter.
bonding
I'm
and
not saying
stuff.
it's not important or these things doesn't happen. I started my argument with the fact that these things are important. What I'm saying is this is my belief that these things are coming from the club, and it is mad for people
I
to
would
expect
agree
that
with
the
you.
fans would
It's
react
not
something
from the
else.
sources he came from. The sources that he come from, it's not from the club. I can guarantee you that.
I don't think this
Okay,
is from
then.
the club, but Jay has every right to believe that came from the club. But I think otherwise, Bobby, let's hear you. I think Jay knows these things. Clubs do these things, and he did mention clearly that it's good for one's mental health. You can say it makes the whole thing to be not so boring. But let's hear you, Bobby, your thoughts on why that's actually you can say why big accounts are actually especially you could say I couldn't believe the way Eunice, you could say how he copied it, what he said, and I see. I believe I don't know where he works, but I think he should know what team building is or team bonding, whatever you want to call it. But Bobby, let's hear your thoughts on that. I don't think the club in any way sponsored that. I don't think so because it wouldn't
No,
make sense. If they did, then it was ill timed. And does it even make any sort of sense to actually let people know they're doing Legos for team building? For me, it's nothing. But Bobby, let's hear you.
it is nothing. Look, there is a problem in the Chelsea fan base, um, and it started twofold. The Chelsea fan base, because of how broad Chelsea supporters are globally, that have perhaps one of the biggest, if not the biggest, social media presence in the world. And during the COVID time, where a lot of these content creators started, um, there was a sense of competition amongst them, that they noticed that whenever there was any sort of bad news or negative thing that they put out there, they got a lot of clicks, a lot of attention, a lot of views. And so they built up that habit of seeking negativities that they could publish. And for some of them, it's that. For some of them, it's also that they're quite mischievous. They actually have a thirst for problems at Chelsea. They enjoy it. They like seeing it. And if Chelsea was a smooth club without any of the dramas that we have, they will look for anything to try and stimulate that, because they don't want a harmonious club. They want a chaotic pro club. They want a club with problems they can keep talking about. Now, team bonding takes many ways. I can see why it's done with something like Lego building. Some clubs, or at some time, I think there was one of our captains, maybe again John Terry, who started, especially when we went on away games, a card league. They'll play cards and things like that. Look, it's not so much what you do, but the fact that you're doing something that you can do together, it cements bonds, it cements friendships, it cements camaraderie, and it builds that family spirit amongst them is crucial, as you've mentioned, for their mental health, for their psychology, for having the right spirit around the team, and so on. Why this is even talked about at all, it intrigues me. It really does. You know, it's different when the England team go away and you talk of team building, because we've had history in the past of a lot of the wrong type of team building, players going out, going to clubs, getting drunk. And we had this whole issue back in the day. I know many of you may not have even been born, but in the first Euros in England, after a long time, we had Paul Gascoigne take the players out, and the whole dental chair situation where they were pouring booze down each other's necks. You know, players will have a team bond of sorts. So it's best to encourage the right type. Now, I look at Rosenior as something of a studious guy. He looks the studious type. Hence, you have people insulting him and calling him a glorified PE teacher, like one fool that phoned into Sky Sports and was spitting that one out without knowing anything
And
really.
he will call himself a Chelsea supporter.
Well, that's a sad thing. And you see, our detractors use this. They love this because they love that label. Oh, look what their own supporters are saying. So we now have the license to say even more. So I don't think this has anything to do with the club. It just has a lot to do with the toxicity we have managed to sweep along into the fan base with everybody else that has been embraced in the fan base. I think it's right that we open up the fan base. I think it's right that we embrace, especially a global fan base. We want them to feel as part of the Chelsea family, to come in. We're all in the family. Our heart all beats as one, and our blood all bleeds blue. But with that comes the dirt and the toxic people. Many of them are home based. Many of them are not. And we just have to know how to take the smooth and manage the rough. And this is where we are. I think it's worse in the Chelsea fan base than anywhere else, because our social media is higher than anywhere else.
Yeah, Dante, before I
I'm a,
come to you, okay,
I'm
we have Hakim here. Okay, I might have to let Hakim speak, but just give me a few 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes here. Maresca was sorry, the board and owners let you down. My one and only club World Cup and Champions League manager. Heston, I'm gonna say this. I'm not sorry for Maresca. I don't feel for him. I have no sympathy for him. No, because I still feel like he betrayed us. That's how I feel. If anything, I'm gonna start with him mid-October, telling Chelsea that he's talking to Man City in case, yeah, if vacancy emerges there, that he's gonna that. Give me 1 second.
Bob. Can you hear me, Bobby?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Sorry,
I
sorry,
don't think
Hakim, I'm coming. So quickly, what I'm trying to say is this: Maresca betrayed us. Mid-October told the club if vacancy emerges at Man City that he's gonna take it. That he's talking to them. That aside, he won club work on everything. Even if he, after telling them that, he said, well, he told them at the time, if you buy me this player, I'm willing to stay and continue. I would never trust anybody, irrespective of what you said afterwards. So
mm,
can we just? And he wasn't sacked; he walked, probably because they refused to change how they operate because of him. His achievement is a seventh of French league. What? How about last season? What did he do? It's not easy given how young the squad he had to work with. He went for
coach,
uppercut
coach,
against Luis Enrique's PSG, and could have
wait,
won a
wait,
lot more had he been a little more uh, pragmatic. And I have to say, I didn't want him to come right now. When I heard that we might appoint him, that we could appoint him, I thought he just let him stay there 1 or 2 more seasons. But
coach.
of course, you're
Then
entitled to your opinion.
listen,
Just one
listen.
second, Hakim, I'm coming. He Okay, rattled PSG all the way and got a second place. Yeah, Rosenior rattled PSG, I think, on 2 occasions actually. Yeah, with a much with a even more inferior team, and the boys gave out thing because he said it. Yeah, PTSD, I get it because it's something that Potter used quite a lot. They're not the same. I think he's a much better manager than Potter, even though I wanted him to stay at Strasbourg and not come right now, but I'll support him. What I get it, and I'm happy you're willing to support him too. Ibra says that this club needs a more team building. The last coach walked out on us without saying bye bye to the guys. Yeah, so maybe this is a reason to actually get them together, and also team building. That's something those in charge pay attention to. How you are able to work with your teammate. It's not just the bonding thing is important, but they will be observing. They will pay attention to how you collaborate with your teammate, and that will tell them a lot. They will know whether if there's anything going on. The
Coach,
last coach worked
coach,
out.
I
Worked
just
out.
want to say something to add up what you said. Compare Moresca to Tuchel. Tuchel, when we were in our, like when we were facing the government and all the things that was happening to Chelsea, you did heard what Tuchel said. He said if he has to drive Chelsea because our bank account was even frozen, we can't, like, we couldn't, like they said, we are even having issues to buy fuel for our bus. And Tuchel said, if he has to drive the players to the stadium, he will drive the players to the stadium. This is a coach that deserves, like, Chelsea supporters to cry over, not Moresca who walked over. Sometimes, like, I'm so, like, it's so crazy how these Chelsea supporters are so, like, you don't know, like, they are different type of people. Like, I don't understand how a coach is worked out on you and you still find a way to defend him. Yes, we know that you have issues with the hierarchy, but that doesn't mean that when someone messed up, you should blame, like, you should put all the blame on, like, there is something that we can control. There is something beyond their control. When even your son try to take a decision, there's nothing you can do about it. When you reach a point where it's not like you cannot control it, there's nothing you can do about it. And this is a grown ass man who, he has already made up his mind. When you hear what he was saying, even after winning games, like, you could tell he's saying it's not happening. Like, when a coach starts talking like that, they want to go. And no coach is going to leave 40 million. It's going to leave a money on the district without having a plan. Because he resigned without taking any money because he could tell, like, he, like, he, man, do you think Moresca is dumb? Do you think Moresca is stupid? He's not. He knows what is up to. He knows what is up to. Some coaches, like, even more experienced coaches, like, let's say, more experienced coaches, they play the game and they know how they play
I
the
love
game. So
I love Maresca, but I have no sympathy for him, and
and
I'm
when people
saying,
also tell me that,
yeah.
like, they didn't give him what he wanted, listen, I think of all the coaches that they had, Moresca is the one that is spoiled. Plus, Moresca is the one that is spoiled. Listen, they bought Felix. He said he doesn't want Felix. They let Felix go. They choose Felix over him. Hardly do you see coaches like even like the hierarchy, like, choosing coaches over players. Like, he took was it Chukwumeka? You could tell he said he doesn't want Chukwumeka. They let Chukwumeka go. You could tell also he doesn't like and Santos. They're like, bro, like, we cannot let all these players go. Like, it, like, you could tell his demand is so high. His demand has been so high that, like, sometimes you don't. And there's no team in this world where the coach make solely like what is the name? Like, tell tell them that this is the type of players that I want, and then they have a system and they tell that this is the system, this is the type of players that we want. It's up to you, the coach, to make it work. Like Klopp, he didn't want Salah, but they bought Salah for him and he made Salah work. So I don't understand what people are saying, trying to find a way to defend him. He's gone, he's gone. But then I just want to add up about the Lego thing. Like, do people really have issues about this Lego thing? Are
Not
people
let's
really
here's the thing. Well, if they have issues with it, will it change anything? No, it's just because it's Chelsea. Everything is an issue. The moment he came
listen?
out, they started making fun of him. Some of them actually don't. I'm quite sure some of them don't know what team building is or
So I
bonding,
want
whatever
to
you're
ask, like,
supposed to be.
do you know that players play PS game like a fortnight in the premises of the team? Like they have like a places where they go and play Fortnite. They have a places where they can go and play FIFA and all of those things. Do they know all about that? It's like people support him and they don't know what is going on in football. They just watch football and then they hope like their team win. But they don't know what is going on at the background. They have like a playing room where they walk in, where they play football, like where they play games. So if they bring something like a Lego or chess, they also have chess. Let's do play chess. So what is the issue of like of the players, like of the manager saying that okay, I want us to try to practice something like a Lego and try to build something like for team coordination. Like when we go to school, we also have like a group work where we do the assignments. You do those things like for you to build it's everywhere in the company. Some in my job, like sometimes they try to fix what is the name? Like something like a workshop. They try to create a game where you have your team and then you try to it's all building like the coordination between the teams, like the chemistry and all of these things. Man, people just want to find a way to complain. Trust me,
All right.
like
Thank you for that, Hakim. Anybody on the panel want to say anything else before we call it a day? But yeah, just let me catch up with this. And big up to you, the Blue Tiffy game. I don't have to read that, and I don't know why I highlighted, but much love to you, the Blue Tiffy game. Let's see. Maresca resigned because he's the same and unprofessional. I stick with unprofessional in my opinion. How do you walk away from young men mid-season? You wanted players, they got you players. Yeah, exactly. Whose fault is it that you loaned and Salmino and Sa out? Two players that could have been part of the squad, but I don't want to go that deep. I just want to stick with. He wanted to leave. He wasn't sacked. He walked. Forfeited, I think, 14 million pounds. They said, and some are saying it was so bad. Yeah, some people are saying it was so bad. He walked and forfeited his, you say, severance fee, whatever you want to call it. No, I believe Maresca already has something in motion in terms of another job, or certain he's going to get one because he's polished his resume, and because the team is struggling. Maybe you could say wasn't so sure what to do next, and probably believed it'd be better off leaving on a high like he did. And you should see when I read his farewell message, or I don't know, would that be the accurate language to use? I nearly threw up because yeah, it was me that like him. Basically the only thing he didn't do in that message was say I did that, I did that, I did this, I did that for you. It's up to you now. When other managers when Tuchel said something, did he say anything like that? He started by saying this that it was at the time the hardest thing he had to write. Blah blah. Didn't talk much. Didn't say much about I did this, I did that. But much in Maresca's case, it was just about him. Self, what we call self-appraisal. I nearly threw up. That actually, for me, justified my what I had always believed before I read that yeah, he polished his resume with us, had something emotional already, and had to find a way out. But I don't want to talk about that. Anybody on the panel has anything else to talk about before we call it a day, please?
No, coach.
Yeah.
Again, just laughing at
Uh,
the. Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry,
Dante.
Jay. Go ahead, Jay. Go.
Go on, Dante. Go on, Dante.
Just one quick thing. I was just laughing at the protest. There's a sign. Someone actually made a sign. Neto out.
Yeah.
Neto.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's what I was thinking. I've always been concerned of something like that happening because they
Oh
don't
my
have
goodness, that's
unified.
pretty
They don't have
funny.
unified message.
Neto is catching strays out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Just
ahead,
before
Jay.
concluding the just before concluding the Lego, topic, and specifically to Bobby, I think we have kind of talked about everything that is around the topic, but rather than what is the main argument that I actually put forward, I really want to ask you. We should consider the context, right? The context is we are not really doing well right now. We are in eighth in the league, right? Struggling on stuff that we are seeing on the pitch. So is this the right time for fans to actually listen to something? I want Bobby to answer this. Do you really expect fans to cherish, things like this, that they are building something with Legos or the coach is really clapping, removing his gloves? Do you expect the fans to really consider this when we are sitting eighth in the table and we are struggling on the pitch? That is the main question.
But what would you like them to do? What do you think would be the best approach?
Let's hear from Bobby Hakim, because that question was posed to Bobby.
Tag team
You there,
partners
Bobby?
are arguing.
Well, it's
It
gone.
doesn't
I
look-
think that's the
Sorry,
right
what's
way
that?
to.
What's that?
You got to repeat everything again, Jay.
Sorry, I
Um,
was.
You and Jay, you guys are in the ring. We're watching.
What did Jay
I just
say?
wanted to ask about the Lego, the same topic. I think context matter, right? We all can agree. So the context is we are sitting eighth in the league. We are struggling on the pitch. We all can agree that. So do you really expect the fans to, cherish and take this briefings seriously, like, building Legos and the coach is clapping with removing his gloves? With the context that we are struggling on the pitch, do you really blame the fans to not take this thing seriously and laugh at it? That's my question.
I don't think they are taking it seriously.
Well,
Which
they're
fan is
laughing,
taking it?
right? And the issue is that why the fans are laughing. That's the issue that we are discussing here.
I personally believe that if fans are laughing at it, is that it's of no relevance. It's not important.
But you can't really blame the fans, right? It's the problem is with the briefings. Why this is on the internet? Given the
Why?
context, I
How
think
do
the
you believe
fans.
this is a briefing? Do you really think the club will, at this stage, and given everything that's going on, focus on telling the fans that they're playing Lego?
Yeah,
But
I don't
coach, the
think it's
argument that we were doing here is that we are actually blaming the fans for laughing at it. Well, the argument should be that these briefs are not true or this is not something to believe. But
Jay,
we are actually blaming
you
the fans for
still, I
laughing at
know
it.
you understand the importance. You still want to, you believe that it's a brief, and I don't think it's one. My point is, some people laugh because it's funny, the way it sounds and the way it's presented, maybe. Some actually see it that they shouldn't be doing such at all. It shouldn't be part of teams, shouldn't be doing that. They should be focused on training, blah, 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 something like that. Some don't understand what it is for. That's the
No,
point
it
I'm
is
making.
important. It is
Some
100%
feel
important.
like
We all,
it's a stupid thing. Actually, some see it. You get where I'm coming from. Whether it's a brief
yeah,
or
yeah,
not,
I understand.
that's by the way. Even if it's a brief, it's ill time. We've agreed. I'm just saying, Jay.
Yeah.
Some people are seeing it as it's something that football clubs shouldn't be doing. Actually, that is a stupid thing. Are they kids playing Lego? That's the way they're putting it.
Coach, there are so many videos online when you
But
follow
yeah, go
Chelsea
ahead, Jay.
page.
Sorry, go ahead. Post your
No, I
question to
think I
Bobby
agree
the
with you.
same. Yeah.
I think you're agreeing with me that the timing is ill. I don't have any problems with the stuff that happens. I think these are important, but the timing is bad. And if the timing is bad, then fans are going to react like that only. And to those fans who think that this is a problematic thing overall, considering nothing, this should never happen. I'm against them also.
All right. I still don't think, in my opinion, I still don't think that was a brief. I'm not a big believer in the brief thing. I know when the club put out something really the way it comes, it's usually polished and
Jay,
not.
who put it out, Jay? Who put it out?
Jay believes is the club.
No, well, who put it out? Who did it come from? Who's the source?
Let's forget that. The main thing
Oh,
is
you
we
don't
should
know.
target the action
Okay.
rather than the reaction of the fans. The
No,
action
no,
is the
no, no.
problem
That
here.
is very relevant and very important. That's nothing you
How is
just
it
gloss over.
relevant? Fans are going
That
to
is
react
very
like
important.
this. We all agree that the context is important.
Yes, But your
Listen,
main argument is that it's
some fans,
Reece
I
and
mean,
he's
you
I mean,
see,
take the
you see,
example. Do we
let me
really
tell you
believe a
something.
fan,
All right,
When your team
we
is
have
not
will
just
come
performing,
out and
we
say?
have just 3 minutes before the game starts, right?
when your team is not performing, yeah, fans will all like everything that you do. It's always going to be a problem to fans. When your team is it's natural, it's natural
Fair enough.
reaction. When
Yeah,
your
which
team is not
I agree,
performing,
but I had to be more again. I had to be more specific. Specific. A minute ago when I talked about it again. Some see it as something stupid that football clubs or teams shouldn't be doing because they don't understand the reason for it. Everything becomes an issue now. I get it because of where
you're
we are.
And let me add one more thing, coach. There's a lot of the guys in that dressing room that are Lego guys and Lego collectors.
That's not the
So
argument, Dante. You know.
I'm just
yeah,
telling you.
I understand his argument. I understand his argument. But then, like, fans will always find a reason to be angry. If your team is not performing, well, it's a natural thing. Like,
Everything becomes an issue. I agree.
yeah,
We
everything
agree on
become an
that.
issue.
Yeah.
Everything become an issue. But that doesn't like that should also separate you from them because some people like they are really angry. Like some people take this as their daily activity. Like you understand? Some people like they put their life in it. We all put our
All right.
life in it because if you support a team, there's no way you can stop supporting a team. For me, there's no way I can stop supporting Chelsea. But it's extreme. You understand? To some people, it's really extreme. So, like, they are really angry. Everything that we do, everything Chelsea do at this moment. Even if Chelsea, like, imagine right now they said they wanted like a centre back, and like the list of the centre backs that Chelsea brought out. Some fans still have problem with the list of the centre backs that, like, it's a win-win. It's a lose-lose game at this moment in
All
Chelsea.
right.
There's
All right, let's run. Let's run 1 minute before the game. No big up, but thank you to everyone who, again, if you found that being a part of the conversation, I appreciate you all. We're getting closer and closer to 30K subscribers and couldn't have done it alone. Yeah, as a community, we continue to grow. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Big
Cheers,
up.
guys.